The film opens in a quiet 1980s suburb. Emily babysits two kids, Mark and Marina. Mark fears a skin-eater hiding in his closet, so Emily blocks the door with a chair and a teddy bear, then leaves Marina with him for comfort. Emily dances to loud music in the living room until she hears the garage door open and rushes to tidy up. When she goes to greet the parents, the garage is empty. Outside, she notices a dead dog on the road and panics. Back inside, Emily finds the teddy bear with a note reading, "You're pretty." She assumes Mark is pranking her, but he is asleep. She then goes to Marina's room and is horrified to find the girl gagged, with a note pinned to her that reads, "Forever." Panicking, Emily runs downstairs to call the police, but the phone line is cut. The TV suddenly turns on, showing a masked figure in a Grim Reaper costume, holding a sign that says, "And ever," with a camera set up nearby. Moments later, the same figure appears behind Emily and stabs her. Sometime later, a girl named Deena returns to her hometown. She is startled by her old friend Chad, who annoys her while filming. Another man, Willis, steps in and sends Chad away before asking Deena if she is okay. She nervously agrees and leaves. Deena later stops at a drugstore, quietly greeting Forest Ranger Elizabeth while picking up her father's medication. Elsewhere, Sheriff Arnold finds a package on his porch. Inside is a remote that immediately unsettles him. Deena then reunites with her friend Haddie, and the two happily catch up over coffee. They talk about making plans, though Haddie says she is busy babysitting the sheriff's son that night. Since Arnold's wife has died, Haddie jokes that she plans to replace her and marry him. Arnold and his deputy, Butch, arrive at a house where Emily was killed, now listed for sale. Arnold hands Butch the remote he found on his porch. When pressed, the garage door opens, confirming it belongs to the house. Deena returns home and is warmly greeted by her mother. She talks to her father about college, but he sits unresponsive. Her mother later comforts Deena, saying her father is proud, and mentions Haddie called earlier about an emergency. At the station, a staff member brings Arnold another package that showed up at her home and is addressed to him. Inside is a cassette labeled Night of the Reaper. They play the tape and watch footage of a young man camping in the woods. He hears noises, investigates, and finds a dead dog. When he returns to his tent, he spots a camera, and the Reaper suddenly appears and kills him. Arnold identifies the victim as Connor Davis, found dead by a creek 2 years earlier. Though his death was ruled an accident, Arnold admits he never believed it. Deena calls Haddie, who says she is seriously ill and begs Deena to babysit the sheriff's son that night. Deena hesitates, but finally agrees. Arnold and Butch drive past Elizabeth, examining a dead dog. She says it was likely hit by a car, and that it is the 4th or 5th one this month. The officers then head into the woods to revisit the spot where Connor Davis died. Arnold suddenly spots another package on the ground and takes it back to the station. Inside is a cassette labeled Night of the Reaper, the babysitter. The tape shows footage of Emily before her death. As they review it, they notice a parked van, which turns out to belong to Chad. Deena arrives at the sheriff's secluded house in the woods and meets his young son, Max. At the station, Chad is brought in for questioning, and his camera is confiscated. He refuses to cooperate and demands a lawyer, but Arnold accuses him of making snuff films and helping in Emily's murder, leaving Chad stunned. Back at the house, Deena asks Max for a tour and offers him a treat. He agrees and shows her around. In the basement, Deena finds a box of Max's late mother's belongings and opens it, revealing a wedding dress. This upsets Max, so they go upstairs. Deena notices a locked room, and Max explains it is his father's office with a gun inside. She then sees a photo of Max's mother, who died in a car accident, and Max admits that both he and his dad miss her. Deena soon gets a call from Arnold, who asks if everything is fine. She says yes. Afterward, Arnold questions Chad again, but Chad stays calm and threatens to sue. Arnold suggests Willis may be involved, but Chad insists Willis is innocent. Ignoring this, Arnold orders Butch to bring Willis in, but Butch refuses, saying there is not enough evidence. Furious, Arnold decides to find Willis himself. Back at the house, Deena puts Max to bed and goes downstairs. She takes a sip of whiskey and looks for food when she hears a dog screaming outside. Grabbing a flashlight, she goes out and finds the dog dead. The door behind her starts rattling, and she rushes inside and locks it, shaken but relieved. Later, Deena calls animal control, who say they will collect the body in the morning. Meanwhile, Arnold breaks into Willis's empty apartment. The TV plays static, and he notices a dog collar, which immediately raises his suspicions. Feeling scared and alone, Deena calls Haddie. As they talk, Deena hears a loud thud upstairs and calls out to Max, but gets no answer. At the same time, Haddie hears her doorbell and hangs up despite Deena begging her to stay. Deena's fear grows as she hears footsteps moving through the house and sees the basement door standing open. Elsewhere, Arnold hears music playing and goes to investigate. He is stunned to find another tape labeled Night of the Reaper. At the house, Deena cautiously approaches the basement, calling out to see if someone is there. Willis returns home, but Arnold suddenly confronts him at gunpoint and arrests him for Emily's murder. Back at the house, Deena repeatedly calls Haddie, but gets no answer. She storms into Max's room, accusing him of scaring her, only to find him asleep. A loud thud follows. She rushes over and sees Max's mother's photo, now covered with a news article about her fatal accident. Glass shatters upstairs. Deena runs up and realizes it came from Arnold's office. At the station, Arnold drags in a badly beaten Willis. Chad is released and is horrified to see his friend in that condition. Arnold locks himself in a room and plays the tape found in Willis's apartment. The footage shows a woman crashing into a tree after being distracted by the Reaper. It is revealed to be Arnold's wife. She survives the crash at first, but the Reaper repeatedly smashes her head until she dies. Arnold is overwhelmed by grief and rage. Back at the house, Deena enters Arnold's office and notices the shattered window. She sees a board filled with evidence showing Arnold's deep investigation into the killer. Suddenly, she hears loud banging and approaching footsteps and quickly dials 911. At the station, Arnold storms into the interrogation room and orders Butch out. Alone with Willis, he demands to know why Willis had footage of his wife. Terrified, Willis says he was only supposed to deliver it to Arnold. Before Arnold can ask who gave it to him, Butch interrupts with news of an emergency. Elsewhere, the Reaper creeps toward Max's room, camera and knife in hand, as police race across town. Hearing Deena's voice talking to a 911 operator, the Reaper follows it, only to discover it is coming from a tape recorder. At the same time, officers rush to a drugstore after a bomb report, but find the bag empty. They call Arnold and explain it was an anonymous false alarm. Back at the house, the Reaper grabs the tape player, but Deena suddenly attacks and stuns the killer with a taser, smiling coldly. Later, the Reaper wakes up tied to a chair, forced to watch footage of Emily's murder. Deena appears on screen wearing a mask and says she knows who the Reaper is and what they plan to do. She explains that while searching the Reaper's home, she found hidden tapes and a journal detailing a plan to kill Haddie and Max. The Reaper removes the mask, revealing Elizabeth. Deena admits she has been planning this for a long time. She reveals she drugged Haddie's coffee to make her too sick to babysit and slipped sleeping pills into Max's drink. She also asks Willis to help take Max away to keep him safe, and he takes Max to Haddie's place. It is also revealed that Deena left her bag at the drugstore earlier and then called 911 to report it as a possible bomb. This was meant to distract the police so no one could help Elizabeth. Stunned by the truth, Elizabeth stumbles out in shock. She searches the kitchen for knives but finds none. Her attention is drawn to a photo of one of her victims on the fridge with a message reading, "I came to watch you die." Elizabeth runs upstairs, noticing more threatening messages along the way. She finds a walkie-talkie, and Deena speaks through it, telling her they are all waiting. At the station, Arnold learns who reported the bag and is left shaken. Back at the house, Elizabeth desperately searches for Deena, while Deena taunts her over the walkie-talkie. Elizabeth finally spots Deena outside, signaling with a flashlight, her face painted like a Reaper. Furious, Elizabeth charges into the woods and is surrounded by scarecrows dressed as Reapers. As the truth is revealed, Deena is exposed as Emily's older sister, seeking revenge for her murdered family. Just as she prepares to kill Elizabeth, Chad strikes Deena from behind with a heavy log. Elizabeth and Chad then work together to drag Deena's unconscious body back into the house. Arnold repeatedly tries calling his house, but no one answers, which alarms him. With all officers tied up at the bomb scene, he heads there alone. Back at the house, Deena wakes up to see Chad frantically tending to Elizabeth's wound. Deena tells Elizabeth she made a mistake, revealing she saw her at Emily's funeral and later followed her home. As Chad wraps Elizabeth's arm with a scarf, Deena taunts him about his abusive father, saying he has only replaced him with Elizabeth. Chad snaps back, claiming Elizabeth is an artist and accusing Deena of jealousy because they turned Emily into a star. Chad then tells Elizabeth that a sheriff's deputy came to his house and he slit the man's throat before coming there. Fearing they have been exposed, he urges them to flee, but Elizabeth insists they will get away as they always have. Willis's voice suddenly comes through the walkie-talkie, and Deena mocks them for thinking they are in control. Enraged, Chad grabs the radio and plans to lure Willis in so they can kill him and escape. Without warning, the rigged walkie-talkie explodes, blowing Chad's head apart. Later, Deena wakes up tied to a chair as footage of Emily's final moments plays in front of her. A camera records everything while Elizabeth explains she plans to kill Deena slowly, just as she did Emily. She coldly claims no one cares about Emily and that recordings are all that remain once people forget. Elizabeth puts on her mask and stabs Deena's leg. As Deena screams, she tells Elizabeth she forgot one thing. She did not only kill Emily. Arnold suddenly arrives and shoots Elizabeth. Panicked about his son, he is relieved when Deena tells him Max is safe. Arnold is stunned to realize the Reaper is Elizabeth. She tries to blame Deena and beg for help, but Arnold does not believe her. When Elizabeth reaches for a knife, he shoots her in the head, killing her. Afterward, Arnold realizes Deena sent him the packages so he would learn the truth. He wants to call the police, but Deena stops him, saying she will not let Elizabeth destroy their lives too. Arnold decides Elizabeth will be reported missing, and later her house will be searched. The plan works, and police find Chad's body and clear evidence tying Elizabeth to the murders. The film ends at Emily's memorial, as Arnold tells Deena they now share a dark secret, having both taken revenge and honored those they lost. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.